What up, y'all? Man, y'all know what it is. Y'all know who it is. Another Charger conversation. Jermaine's in it. Your uncle. Hostile takeover. So, I was on another content creator's TikTok last night, and someone brought up something that wasn't even part of the discussion and asked why he didn't talk about it. So I figured I would. So what we getting into? Mommy issues. Now, I know that's a blanket topic and a blanket subject, so it's not going to get super specific, but let's get into it a little bit. This particular lady was complaining about black men having mommy issues. But you can't blame someone for having parental issues because they didn't have a choice in the matter. Now, is it their responsibility to get therapy and deal with it and heal and get through it? Yes. But you can't blame them. You can't blame someone for having something that they had no choice in whether or not they had. Right? But how do black men get mommy issues? Parental issues, period, are usually a response to one of three things. Usually. Abandonment, abuse, or trauma. Now, we're not going to go over the single mom statistics. They're everywhere. But with the vast majority, and I mean the vast majority, of black children being born out of wedlock and raised by a single mother, how would they get those issues? Black women, obviously. So, this goes back to something that I always say when it comes to this. Black women raise the men that the next generation of black women complain about. So if black women are giving black men mommy issues, who's really the one to blame here? The one who didn't have a choice in whether or not they got parental issues, or the one who gave them the issues? I fucking thought so. And when we're talking about mommy issues, we're not talking about mama's boys. That's not mommy issues. That's just being too close to your mother and having too close of a relationship with your mother for someone else's liking. That's not an issue. That's not a issue of mental state, mental stability, any of that. That's just a personal judgment coming from someone who doesn't like it. Who gives a fuck? I'm talking about actual issues. So, if so many black men have so many mommy issues, because you can't get mommy issues from anyone other than your mother. And you either have little or no control over whether or not you get those issues. Because when you're a baby, a toddler, an elementary school kid, you have no choice in your life. When you get to middle school, you have some. When you get to high school, you have some more. Yeah, but you never really have control over your life until you move out. Now, this isn't a bashing black women post. This is a pro-black male post. Or, you know what I mean? Like, you can't blame somebody for shit that's out of their control. Period. You know what I mean? That's just stupid. It makes no sense at all. So, why would you? Now, once you get to a certain age, it is your responsibility to seek therapy and deal with those issues. And that you can blame on, you know, the person with the issues not getting therapy for it, but you can't blame them for having the issues. And we all know I'm a big advocate for therapy anyway. I have a therapist. I've said it a couple of times on this channel. So, I'm not absolving anyone of the responsibility of seeking therapy. What I'm doing is correcting a problematic narrative that it's black men's fault that black men have mommy issues. No, it's not. And the narrative and stigmas of therapy are slowly going away in the black community, but they're still there. And let's be honest. Most black people, men and women, children, adults, all deal with trauma to a certain extent. And most of us need to be in therapy of some kind or another for some issue or another. So seek help and get through that, deal with that, and move on, become a mentally healthier person and a better person. Again, I advocate for therapy. But what we're not going to do is victim blame. That's what we're not going to do. Because black men with mommy issues are victims. Period. End of story. You can't frame it any other way. And that's on top of the other social traumas we deal with. But that's on all black people to deal with personally and privately with their you know, licensed therapist in a private setting. But you can't get mommy issues from your dad. You can't get mommy issues from people outside of your house. You get mommy issues from your mommy. Period. And again, that's not bashing. That's just facts. So, instead of complaining about black men having mommy issues, do better raising black men. Oh, wait. But that would require black women to change how they're doing shit. We can't have that, can we? Look, I love black women, period. I don't hate black women. I don't bash black women. But facts are facts. So instead of pointing your finger at the victim, point the finger at the offender, at the person who victimized them. That's what you do. But y'all don't want to go that deep, do you? You want to lay it on the shoulders of black men, and that's that. No, we're not doing that. The black male ethnic image has been getting bashed my entire life. I'm 48 years old. And it started before I was even born. So for 50 plus years, the black male image has been getting bashed on TV, in print, all that. But now we have social media. We have platforms like YouTube, Rumble, blah, 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 TikTok, where we can record shows, go live, make pre-recorded videos, all that. And we're taking our image back and we're controlling the narratives again. Because y'all ain't gonna do that shit to my son. You got me fucked up. Y'all ain't gonna bash my son for no fucking reason. Like I talk more about my daughter than my son because my son's grown. He is who he is. He's who he's gonna be. I love my son to death, but I'm raising a daughter currently. And I will not, absolutely will not, let you bash my son for some shit that ain't his fault. And when I say my son, I mean this whole generation. That shit stops now. Black men are taking our image back. We're taking control of the narratives. We're putting out factual information that can't be disputed because it's factual. That's why I don't argue with people and go back and forth on social media. Because just look at the facts, and if you refuse to look at the facts, then we have nothing to discuss. But here's where the hypocrisy and the bullshit comes in. When black women have daddy issues, you're quick to blame the dad. But when black men have mommy issues, you stop at the black man and don't look any further. It's just automatically his fault that he's dealing with something that he can't control. And that's bullshit. We're not doing that today. We're not doing that anymore. So, let's end it with this. Don't end the conversation at the symptom. Look at the disease. Middle fingers up. Be safe. Stay dangerous.